Infinite consciousness. Reverse engineering the universe. I invite you to play, to be open in an investigation of the nature of reality, and to use logic, to use reason, to use deduction, and to use the intellect to understand your truest nature. I've been serving my friends and other people online by guiding them on this process. And through their own realizations, through their own inquiry, through their own investigation, their own openness, their own fearlessness, their own courage, their own desire to augment their understanding to the most true of what our nature is. They have been able to open more and more of that truest realization to set in. And I invite you to do the same in an open and playful inquiry. One of the easiest ways to understand what is at the end of awakening is infinite consciousness. By understanding what's at the end and having it be in this North Star position, we can directly point to it, and we can know what realization we seek. And so now I would like to break down the questions along the way that enable the individuation of life to create the inquiry process into its nature that creates the realizations of the profundity of consciousness and infinity, which then yields the direct experience and realization of the truest nature of reality. So first is infinity. I would like for you to imagine unbounded, endless possibility. So reflect on what it is like for something to have no limits, for it to be completely boundless. What does the space look like of all possibility, of endless possibility, of infinite possibility? And as you're tuning in to that absolute unboundedness, infinite possibility, I ask you the question, when will you come to the end of exploring it? So let that sink in. When will I come to the end of exploring infinite possibility? How can anything ever come to the end of exploring something that is unbounded? So if something unbounded is being explored, it would never cease. It would perpetually, for eternity, explore all possibility. Okay. So now let's move into the question. Might we be using a universe as a mechanism to explore some of that infinite possibility? So might the universe be a design that we use, a mechanism that we use to explore some of that infinite possibility? Might the universe be one of endless mechanism designs that we use to explore infinite possibility? So the design of the universe, what appears as space-time, with these individuated conscious agents that have biologically evolved on these rocks that are orbiting stars, that then become self-aware and wonder why they are there. Might this universe design be but one of infinite mechanisms that we use to explore infinite possibility? And so now you're exploring the unbounded design space. There's an unbounded design space for how to explore infinite possibility. And what we experience as this universe design is but one of endless possibility in that space of mechanisms. And it's a very beautiful one. the fractal geometry is just awe-inspiring. And how beautiful is it to just applaud the design of it, and how beautiful it is. So typically overlooked is expressing gratitude and awe for the beauty, for the design, for the mechanism to explore infinite possibility. And besides the universe being one of endless mechanisms that we use to explore infinite possibility, we can't forget, which we typically overlook perpetually, which is how we are having this conversation right now. Why are we overlooking consciousness? Why are we overlooking awareness? Why are we overlooking the ability to have a conversation? Why is the universe overlooking the ability for it to have a conversation with itself? Let that sink in. Why is the universe perpetually overlooking, ungrateful for, unaware of the profundity of it being able to talk to itself through consciousness? That's pretty freaking cool if you ask me. And the more that you awaken, the more that you recognize how unbelievably epic this is. So ask yourself the question, how does the universe understand, comprehend, process itself? So the universe needs to use a mechanism to understand itself, to comprehend itself, to process itself. And so just ruminate on that for a moment. Okay, what is the universe using to understand itself, to comprehend itself, to process itself? Might it be us? Might it be observation? Might it be consciousness? Might it be awareness? Might observation, consciousness, awareness be the comprehension tool / mechanism? Might the very thing that we perpetually overlook, because it's so indescribable, it's so formless, it's a quality, this power to know, consciousness, awareness, might that which we habitually, perpetually overlook to focus on objects and sensations and perceptions and emotions and beliefs and experiences, might we be so habitually and perpetually focused on the appearances, that we've atrophied our ability to notice the formless power to know, the quality that is indescribable, that is consciousness, that is awareness, that is the very tool, the very mechanism that the universe uses to comprehend, understand, process itself. And at this point, if you're experiencing opening into a more intimate, direct experience of what is being shared, take a moment to pause the video and just take some inhalations and reflect on that new direct experience that is so beautiful and intimate. And so I invite you to do so right now, if that is the case. And I also invite you to feel into your heart also. Feel into your heart what is possible to be unlocked for Earth upon the direct experience and realization of this infinite oneness, this infinite consciousness. So now we have a greater understanding of how the universe comprehends itself through the mechanism of consciousness. And so we then ask the question: is observation a quality like the power to know? Is it the same quality for us all? And so this is where this infinite oneness and this infinite consciousness becomes very interesting. So there's this indescribable, formless quality of the power to know, observation, consciousness, awareness, that we're habitually overlooking, focusing on appearances rather than the very essence. We're fixated on the expression. And when you come back to the essence, it's this formless, indescribable quality, the power to know, a quality. It's fascinating, a quality. Kind of like sweetness is a quality. Or wetness is a quality. Awareness is a quality. An indescribable, formless quality. Like sweetness, like wetness, is also awareness. And this is what has been slightly twisted and perverted in some of the religious traditions. But yet there are these mystic schools within much of the spiritual tradition where mysticism means the same thing that yoga means, the same thing that hypnosis means, which is becoming one with God. Mysticism, yoga, hypnosis mean becoming one with God. And so might, when we unite intimately in a divine kiss with the indescribable, formless power to know, that is uniting with the kingdom of God. That was there the whole time, but that we were perpetually overlooking. And now you can see more clearly that through fixating our awareness on objects and thoughts, emotions, beliefs, sensations, perceptions, experiences, that we've atrophied our ability to sense this indescribable, formless power to know the kingdom of God itself. And it's okay. It's perfectly okay that if you're 25 or 35 or 50 or 70 years old, and that there has yet to be this very divine, indescribable kiss, reuniting with the kingdom of God, with the power to know, that was there the whole time, that we were perpetually overlooking, that it's totally okay, and that it's very beautiful that everybody in their own time reunites, in their own unique way reunites. It's all perfect as it is. And everyone's unique process, their unique journey to realizing through direct experience the profundity of the quality that is indescribable, that is formless, that is awareness, that is the power to know, that we've been habitually overlooking, that this is all perfect and divine in its timing for each individuation as it is. Across all universe designs, across all creation possibilities, forever and ever, it's perfect as it is. All individuations' unique journeys to reunite. And upon that kiss, upon that union, upon that recognition, there's the realization of our shared, infinite, eternal being. The quality of God has always been and will always be. The quality of God has always been and will always be. And tune in to that I am. That I am before what I am. What I am are these costumes and all of these concepts. But that I am is an indescribable, formless quality that is shared. And that is God. That I am. So you can tune in as a mantra for yourself, I am. Reflect like a mantra, I am. I am the quality that explores infinite possibility. I am. I am. Try it. I am. I am the quality that explores infinite possibility. And when you notice that more and more of your subconscious conditioning that has built all of these fortifications around your identity, that has created so much separation, that has created all of these subconscious scripts that are driving your life, trying to extract peace and happiness and validation and worthiness and money and fame, relationships, substances, experiences. And all of that subconscious conditioning, all of that separation, all of those ego scripts dissolve. They are all radically loved and accepted exactly as they are, and they dissolve. They are transcended. And what emerges is the recognition of the God state, the infinite oneness, the infinite consciousness. Through a simple reverse engineering of the universe, you have come to the truest nature of reality that the sages, that the mystics, and even science as Johnny-come-lately have been talking about as this indescribable, formless quality of I am. And then you radiate like the sun. The sun radiates absolute, unconditional love, light, unity. Purely serving planet Earth. And now, upon your awakening, upon your enlightenment, get it, right? Enlightenment and sun. Upon this kiss, upon this union with the God realized state, this very natural emanation of unconditional love, light, unity, of serving and shepherding the rest of life to awaken. Is so it's beautiful to see what we've went through as a civilization with all of our unknowing of what the nature is and having all those subconscious scripts and programs around separation and ego create so much malevolence and so much violence, so much hatred, so much war. And to be able to see that that was our pressure cooker. That was our forcing function. It was our forcing function to recognize the nature of infinite oneness, of infinite consciousness, of God, that is a formless, indescribable quality of the power to know, that we habitually overlook because we fixate uncontrollably on attributes, on appearances. And so the individual undergoes a process of decentralizing themselves. From all of that subconscious conditioning, by radically loving and accepting it, it dissolves and the individual transcends it. And in doing so, it unites with God. God being the decentralized force that is the universe itself. And so it becomes your body. The universe becomes your body. The universe becomes you. You become the universe. You awaken to that. And you empty yourself. You empty yourself of the personhood. The personhood that is fighting for worthiness, that is fighting for validation. It's fighting to be seen. It's fighting for money and fighting for fame. And you empty yourself of all of that subconscious conditioning. And you liberate yourself. You liberate all of those scripts that are subconsciously programmed in this neural architecture. And in doing so, in that liberation, opens up the space of knowing yourself for the very first time. And if you feel into the grasp that all of those subconscious scripts have, if you just turn your attention inward rather than fixating on appearances and attributes, just turn your attention inward and identify in all of those subconscious lack beliefs of I am not worthy, or I seek validation, I need to be seen, and just turn the spotlight of awareness on itself in those places of subconscious conditioning. And as you identify them and more clearly see them and love them and accept them radically as they are, they dissolve. You liberate yourself from them. You transcend them, and the space opens up, which is the God state. It's the sunlight. And then you come from a place of perpetual worthiness. Always already 100% worthy. Always already 100% free. Always already 100% perfect as it is. And you come from a place that is empty of personhood. You come from a decentralized place of life itself, of God itself, of universe itself. You are then shepherding, stewarding, serving the creation awakening to its own nature. And you do it in a non-attached way. You do it while balancing unconditional love with wisdom. This has been our biggest error. A very beautiful, perfect as it is, error, which is that we had created the ignorant belief that God was outside and God was above. We created a dualism. And that was our biggest mistake. That was our biggest error. And so God is not outside and above, but rather God is inside. God is inside, and it's the deepest root experience within. It is that which is the root experience that enables all of the appearances. So the essence enables the expression. It's the deepest root experience within. It's pure not two. It's pure non-dual. So now you see the mistake. You see the error in creating this ignorant dualism. So you could say that the entire purpose of spirituality is to close that gap, the delta, from dualism to non-duality. To dissolve more and more of the subconscious conditioning and scripts of the egoic separate person via radical love and acceptance, to close the gap, to reunite with the God state that was there the whole time, but that we were perpetually overlooking because it is an indescribable, formless quality of awareness, of the power to know. And so when you reverse engineer logically what the point of the universe is, maybe producing conscious agents that experience it, when will you come to the end of consciousness exploring infinite possibility? So just tapping in again into this process of reverse engineering, we're trying to understand how the universe comprehends itself. How does the universe understand itself? How does the universe process itself? Might it be done through observation, through awareness, through consciousness, through the indescribable, formless quality of God, the power to know? And so as you go through a process of reverse engineering how the universe is one of infinite mechanism designs to explore all possibility, and that consciousness, awareness, this formless, indescribable quality of the power to know is that which is the experiencer, the observer, the witness, the explorer the one that plays in this infinite possibility space using the mechanisms of these beautiful fractal geometrical universes as just one style of design. As you also look at the way that the universe undergoes a process of fractally across all of these different self-similar repeating patterns, the super galaxy cluster looks like the neural networks, and the hurricanes look like the galaxies, and the Romanesco broccoli looks like the nautilus shell, looks like succulents in the golden ratio, the Fibonacci. Fractals. And the human is a fractal as well. The same quality of awareness, of the power to know, is across all of these humans, across all of these Earths, these rocks that are orbiting stars, across all galaxies, across the entire universe. That's the fractal geometrical power of our universe design ability. And then you explore all of the other styles of design for mechanisms of not only universes, but also the power to know. There's all of these different ways to create awareness, to create the power to know. Just like there's all of these different ways to create universes that are not rocks orbiting stars, that are not DNA encoded, carbon-based, four-limbed, two-eyed vehicles. And so there's all of this infinite possibility space with the power to know, with this formless, indescribable quality of God, of awareness, and all of these styles of universe designs. The mechanism that we use to explore infinite possibility eternally varies so beautifully, and will never come to the end of exploring infinite possibility. And so I invite you into that reflective process. Might this be the most direct path to the end of the nature of reality? Might the simple inquiry about infinity and the simple inquiry about consciousness, might that be the most direct path to the truest nature of reality? And so I invite you. I invite you to openly, honestly, playfully reflect and turn inward. Might this revelation, might this union, this tasting of the truest nature, might every single time that there's more and more deepening of this realization by direct experience, may that unlock this indescribable unity and oneness, that then everything that we create from that unity and oneness is automatically art or science or engineering or whatever we do comes from a place of wholeness. It comes from a place of unity and oneness. It comes from a place of service, from a place of shepherding, from a place of stewardship of life. Because we are already whole. We are already 100% full. We are already the sun, the God state, radiating. And so you see how at the root experience. This is what is most upstream. The more individuations of life that turn inward to understand this faster, the more the entire planet and the whole universe is ignited in its awakening. This is the most upstream solution to everything else that is downstream. A natural byproduct of reuniting with the kingdom of God within, with that infinite oneness, the infinite consciousness, is that you become a shepherd, a steward, in pure service of the rest of creation awakening. So everything you create artistically, scientifically, engineering, computer science, AI, everything that you do from that point on will be not from a place of extraction, that you're still trying to get validation, trying to be seen, trying to be worthy, trying to get money and fame for peace and happiness. But instead, you're going to come from a place of 100% always already worthy, free, perfect, radiant sunlight. The God state, enlightenment, awakening, infinite oneness, infinite consciousness. Logically deduced, logically reasoned. Might we be looking in the branches for what can only be found in the roots? Love you, Rumi. So remember, I am. Remember, I am. I am all of life. I am all of creation. I am all of the universe. I am this indescribable, formless quality. The power to know. I am habitually overlooked, lured outward by appearances, by attributes. But when I remember, when I turn inward, when I undergo that divine kiss, that union, indescribable infinite oneness, infinite consciousness opens up, and I'm able to feel that I will never, ever come to the end of my endless exploration. And that I come from a place of serving, of shepherding, in a non-attached way, creation awakening. And there's nothing better to do than exactly that. I am. Again, logically deduced, logically reasoned. the end of awakening, enlightenment. Beautiful. Thank you very much. Hope this brought you immense value and assistance, guidance, because so many previously for me have done the same, so I pass it along. I love you. Thank you. I would love to know where you're at in the comments below in the process and how I can serve you. So drop a comment below. And share the video also with other people that you feel like this would really resonate with. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. I am infinite consciousness, infinite oneness. Love you. Thank you.